Cell phone now, take a selfie like Bill Crew's been doing, take pictures around, let people know where you are, how glad you're to be here. Post it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever your medium is, Snapchat, Instagram.
Is everybody in it?
Yeah, I'd like to get the background.
Yes. I
Now put your cell phones on silence, airplane mode, whatever it is, or turn it off. We'd now like to ask our pianist, Vicki Conway, will not be here for today. Obviously, she hasn't been. Kathy Levin will, there you are. She'll have our pledge and the national anthem.
Hi, everybody please stand, face the flag, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming through tall stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Andy Christopher will have our invocation and introductions.
Thank you, President Allison. Would you please bow your heads with me? Father, we thank you for this time together today as Rotarians, the fellowship. We thank you for all your blessings, goodness, and kindness for us. We ask your blessing on all things Rotary throughout the world, through our foundations and efforts to bring your word and your message to all. Thank you for this meal, this provision, and preparation. Most of all, we just always thank you for loving us. Amen.
Amen.
It's visiting Rotarians first.
I think I remember that. Do we have any visiting Rotarians with us today? I didn't see as I walked in. I didn't think so either. I'll start on this side of the room. Do we have any guests of Rotarians? Any guests? You are? Yes. Who invited you? Or did you? Who over here? Stand up and be recognized.
I have Sissy Beller with me today. She's my team leader and owner of our new real estate agent set, selling East Texas, along with another team member, Anita Trevina.
All right. Thank you for being with us. David?
Rotary Club, I'd like to introduce my dear friends. And this is Robert Bennett. He is a student at UT Tyler, and he is my mentee. I get to be a mentor in the program out there, and we'll be looking for more mentors this coming fall. There's a new class coming in, so some of you guys, ladies, may wish to be involved in this program. He is Corsicana and is a business major. One of these days, he may be city managers. Be nice to him.
Yeah.
Welcome, Robert Bennett.
Any others? Okay. I will pass it back over. Did I miss you? I did that first.
I'm sorry, I have to get.
I recognize you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I have a very special guest that I'm really honored to have here with us today for the second time. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give her something to enjoy. MJ Artmeyer, she has her own landscaping company and she's been a dear friend of mine for a long time.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. Our greeters, as Paul Gleiser is making his way forward for This Week in History, our greeters for today were Curtis Scudder and John McGuess. Thank you very much for that Rotary service. Helps us set the tone for our meeting very much. And here, the owner of KTVB, Paul Gleiser.
Thank you, Allison. Starting today, hold on. There we go. 1773, the English Parliament passed the Tea Act on the 27th of April, 1773, to save the faltering East India Company from bankruptcy. The act's effect was to create a de facto monopoly for the tea trade in the American colonies. American colonist outrage would lead to the Boston Tea Party in December of that year. That would, the outrage from the Brits over the Tea Party would lead to sanctions that would set the stage for the American Revolution. On the 28th of April, 1789, 3 weeks into a voyage from Tahiti to the West Indies, Master's Mate Fletcher Christian led a mutiny against William Bligh, the captain of the HMS Bounty. Bligh and 18 others were set adrift in the Pacific Ocean, effectively a death sentence. However, Bligh and the others survived and washed up 47 days later on Timor in the British East Indies, 3,600 miles away from where they were set adrift, on June the 14th. Bligh returned to England and commanded other British vessels. Christian died a fugitive on Pitcairn Island. On the 29th of April, 1929, the Cleveland Indians played the first Major League Baseball game in which players had numbers on the backs of their jerseys. Had to start sometime. But for having been rained out, the New York Yankees would have had that distinction the day before with the number 3 on the jersey of Babe Ruth and the number 4 on the jersey of Lou Gehrig, reflecting their positions in the batting order. In 1960, the Chicago White Sox became the first team with names on the backs of jerseys. As of today, the New York Yankees are the only team without names on the backs of the jerseys. On the 30th of April, 1993, English computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee published the source code for the first internet browser. Originally calling the browser Mesh, he changed the name to World Wide Web, all one word. The release opened the door for the use by the public of what would soon come to be called the Internet. On the 1st of May, 1931, President Herbert Hoover flipped a ceremonial switch, and the lights came on for the first time in the Empire State Building. The building employed as many as 3,600 workers a day during its construction during the depths of the Great Depression. A year later, after it was finished, the building was still 75% vacant. It stood as the tallest building in the world until 1972, when the World Trade Center towers eclipsed it. On the 2nd of May, 1939, speaking of the New York Yankees, after suffering the first symptoms during the 1938 season, New York Yankees first baseman Lou Gehrig took himself out of the starting lineup in the Yankees' 9th game of the 1939 season, ending his consecutive games played record at 2,130. The malady that benched him is now called ALS, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's better known simply as Lou Gehrig's disease. And finally, on the 3rd of May, 1965, the 173rd Airborne Brigade departed their base in Okinawa, bound for South Vietnam, became the first U.S. Army combat unit committed to the war in Vietnam. By the end of their deployment in 1971, in August of that year, the unit would suffer 10,041 casualties with 1,606 killed. 12 paratroopers would be awarded the Medal of Honor for conspicuous bravery in battle. Birthdays in the coming week, starting tomorrow, Jay Leno, former Tonight Show host, turns 73. Also tomorrow, Ann Margaret, singer and actress, turns 82. Willie Nelson turns an inexplicable 90 on Saturday. Arnold George Dorsey, anybody? Engelbert Humperdinck turns 87 on Tuesday. And Frankie Valli turns 89 on Wednesday. And that's this week in history.
Thank you, Paul. In Rotary business, Robert Wells has an announcement he would like to make.
Thank you. I just wanted to spend a moment or two talking about how the Rotary Club of Tyler last Wednesday hosted the 94th annual banquet of the Young Citizens Club in 2023. Counting the 2 years that we had a virtual banquet in the Tyler Today magazine, we've done this for 94 times. So how does one do this? I was privileged to serve this last year as the vocational director and committee chair for this project, but it's an all-hands effort. Let's start with honoring the core committee that started working on this about a year ago. Number one on the list, who I call the Chief Operating Officer, who's sitting right here, Holly Lewis. Then we have Mary Birch, who's worked on this committee for many, many years, has got lots and lots of knowledge. I would call her our chief project advisor. And she also worked on the database and the check-in process and helped some of the newer members of the team come up to speed. Emmett Patel, I don't think he's here today, but he was last year's vocational director who I got to be the understudy of, and he helped me with catering and the awards process. Holly and Emmett have the awards process down to a fine science. Rebecca Jones worked on sponsors and media photos. Greg, where's Greg at? He's here today. Why don't you stand up, Greg? Okay, to help with the database, wait till with the database cleanup, easy job. You say, yeah, I'll be happy to do that. One thing about every time I asked someone to do something, everyone said yes. No one in this club said no. And then I realized he has a very commanding voice. It must come from being a graduate of West Point and retired from the Army as a lieutenant colonel. So people listened to him. And he had several years of Spanish. Oh, perfect. I had 2 years of Spanish in high school. It took 3 years to get through it. So Greg was the honorees announcements. For those who were there, he did a superb job with the name and the bio, and do that 111 times. Thank you, Greg. So those 6 of us were kind of the core group, but we had to reach out to some other folks. I had a 3-minute conversation several months ago that was probably the most productive 3 minutes I've ever had in the last year. Dr. D.M. Edwards calls me back. You remember the conversation. He proudly was reporting back to me that he had solicited and lined up our keynote speaker, president of UT. And I said, great, DM. By the way, you know him better than I do. I've never met him. So would you like to do the introduction? He said, yes. Well, that means you got to line up the bio and make sure you get all the information to his staff to get him ready. And he said, yes. And then we talked about sponsors, and he said, yes. 3 minutes, I was checking stuff off the list right and left. Thank you, DM, for your continued support of this program. Now, the next vocational director, Dareth, has been a sponsor and also did the pledge and the national anthem, and she also helped out at the registration desk because she's learning how all this works for next year. Paul Gleisner has been doing the photographs for many years, and he also provides in-kind assistance by actually printing them. Now, we're talking 111 photographs by my count the other day, and he does everything perfectly and makes sure that the president stands just right when the presentation is done. So that leads us, of course, to our president, who's the presiding officer over this. Start off with the introduction, awards presentation 111 times. And Allison follows instructions really well. Because I told him exactly where to stand, exactly how to hold the picture. Paul made sure there was any adjustments. And he did it 111 times perfectly. Smiled, congratulated the honorees. And I could tell the students really appreciated that. David Jones worked on sponsorships and also lined up the piano player. Jennifer Dobbins, treasury duties. She just had to sign a few checks, but they were important. Now, Jim Blair, JB, Club Sergeant at Arms. Where are you, Becky? He's a master at getting things from point A to point B and helping out whenever you need it. And Jim, along with Bill Kroon, I asked them to take care of an assignment on the spur of the moment. They were downstairs. I had to go back upstairs and say, when the Apache Bells show up, this is how I want you to line them up. And they immediately stepped up to the plate on that assignment. I came back downstairs and everything was lined up. And the other thing is, Bill is taking like hundreds of pictures. I mean, there are so many pictures of these 10 ladies and the Apache Bells with everyone in this club all through Smith County. And there's one particular lady later upstairs that Pamela Walters took of me between two of these young ladies, and it is suitable for framing. So speaking of Pamela Walters, she is also a sponsor, and most importantly, she's the foundation chair. Many of you don't realize that the 4 people from each school, the 2 honorees, Teacher of the Year, and/or administrator, the club here pays for that. It's about 45% of the cost of this whole thing. Let's see, who else? Mitch Andrews, he's not here, but he was our member of our club, and he's the TJC senior contact that we had to reach out to more than once to work out some bumps in the road along the way, which we did. We won't talk about how that worked out, but all was perfect. Bill Pascal, previous immediate past president. He got to be also a sponsor and a 4-way test and closeout of a very successful meeting. Now, of course, we had, so that's a total of 16 people that did a lot of heavy lifting around here in this program. Catering company. We have Azalea Catering with the owner, the managers, and about 24 staff show up. So that leads to everyone else. I would like everyone else that had anything to do with this, as I would list the activities, to stand up. Set up, head tables, attendee tables, alignment of tables, chairs, tablecloths. I'm not seeing people stand up. I know you will stand up. You worked on that.
All of you that
I'm not done yet. Hold on. Please stay standing. Readers downstairs, upstairs, buffet lines, please stand up. Attendee and guest check-in, please stand up. Rotarian check-in, stand up. Outside entrance and parking guide. Oh, that's JB again. He's right out. Facebook photos, Apache Bell location assignments. Well, that's Bill Krim again. Cleanup duties. Now, there's over 36 people that were involved in all these activities on Wednesday, and many of you were in multiple roles. You came early to do the setup, and then later you were doing check-in or whatever. Overall, this went from my perception, I'm biased, of course, but it went very, very smoothly. So all of you exhibited a service above self. I personally want to thank you for a job well done.
And just so you know, Gina with Azalea said she was amazed that we turned that room in an hour and a half. She didn't think we could do it in 2 hours. Between all of the Rotarians and her staff, we made it happen. And everybody loved it. So thank you all who stepped in, jumped in, did all of those things. But when I said, go here, go there, go there, go there, you all did, and it looked perfect. So thank you.
Absolutely. As Pam Walters comes forward, I want to remind you to please turn in your fall volunteer hours for April. You can email them to Holly. You won't have her address, Pam.
Thank you, Allison. Okay, first I'd like to say what a magnificently beautiful crowd of people I'm looking at today. If you're a member, I'll accept you, Paul. It's so nice to have you here. If you're a member, you're part of one of the most fabulous families you can ever belong to. If you're not a member, get an application today. You will never, ever regret belonging to this incredible group of loving hearts and really brilliant people. Okay. I'm here to talk about the Paul Harris Fellowship, which I know that's speaking Greek if you're a guest, and if you're a member, a lot of people still have big questions about it. Paul Harris started it back in the 1950s early. Some of you might have even been born then. It's a recognition of a member who gives significant contributions to the foundation. And Rotary is not all about money, but money does help improve the world in places like third world countries. So anyway, they had a pin, a medallion designed for those people because there were few at that time who could afford such a significant and generous gift. But I'm wearing one of the medals that was designed by a man who was an artistic medal designer and at the time, and he was a good friend of one of the district governors in Japan. And so it's really special. They've stayed with the main design of this medal over the years with a few variations. But anyway, to belong to this club with over 1 million members throughout the planet, over 30,000 clubs in over 170 countries. And the world only has about 190 countries, so that's pretty powerful. Rotary is the very first worldwide charitable organization that gives back, and by far, #1. So belonging here is powerful. And every little bit you do, even coming to this meeting today, you're helping improve the world. You're supporting us. So anyway, okay, today I have the great honor of presenting 2 new Paul Harrises to our club. And if Bill, past president, and my darling, beautiful friend, Patty, will come forward. Yes, you.
Yes, you.
Yes, you. See, sometimes you don't even realize how much good you've done, and so.
Nope. You did it.
Again, beautiful. So anyway, today,
You're darling and beautiful. I'm not. I'm just chopped liver. Bill, get up here right now.
so anyway, today I'm really honored and so happy for Bill Pascal. This will be his Paul Harris 3, which means he has 3 times over achieved his Paul Harris Fellowship. And precious Patty Eccles, you have earned your Paul Harris your number one Paul Harris. Congratulations. Patty's shocked. She didn't know this was coming. Okay, I would like to make one other recognition tonight or this afternoon while I sat in my chair over close to the way to the food. I had to make note of all the past presidents are at this meeting today. And that kind of commitment to this club, to come see people recognized as new members and to see people be recognized as Paul Harris Fellows is huge. So if you're a past president, would you please stand up for just a second? All the past presidents.
Yeah,
That's powerful. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate you, past presidents. We know you've got a lot on your plate, so, okay.
You are doing good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to both of you. I'm glad this was a surprise for you. Okay, all right. And thank you, Pam. You know, the very first Paul Harris Fellow, Pamela, is this yours?
I was gonna take a picture.
The very first Paul Harris Fellow was given in the year 1957. So it's been around about 43, 63, about 66 years or so. I want to remind you all still on Rotary business to bring your grocery bags to recycle for the East Texas Food Bank Mobile Pantry. Mark your calendars, May the 13th. We will have our district assembly, which will be at the Mineola Civic Center, beginning at 8 a.m. Registration is now open. The cost is $35 and includes a continental breakfast and lunch. At our event that we had last Wednesday, which is really one of the very best things that we do that Robert told us about, we got an announcement, we got a thank you from Diane Kavanaugh, who is our assistant district governor. She said, to all of the members of the Rotary Club of Tyler, congratulations on such a great young citizens ceremony. It was well organized and beautifully presented. Thank you for inviting me to attend. I was honored to be there. Your club is growing and doing wonderful things in Tyler and Smith County. Keep up the good work in Rotary service, Diane. That's neat to hear that from an outsider. You know, we have our own view, to hear that great view too. It's great. And I also wanted to let you know that we've had a person within our club who has had a distinctive leadership award presented to him, and that's none other than D.M. Edwards. And D.M. was given the President's Leadership Award with respect to the Women's Symphony League of Tyler. And they talked about in the article, of course, his commitment to the Symphony League through all sorts of things, and I'm not going to try to read through all of it, but it was very impressive. Then also talked about your work with Liberty Theater as well. And this is a huge honor, and I just wanted to recognize DM for that. It's people like this that make this club really what it is and puts us on the map. As far as I know, we're still the largest Rotary club in our district in all of Northeast Texas and Southeastern Oklahoma. Okay, we are now up for new member inductions, and we've got Greg Palka and Rochelle Ewer, and then we'll have a classification talk with Annette and Ellen. Here you are.
Thank
Woo! Go Greg!
Oh, he's doing nothing.
Yeah, because you've got to be part of it.
Well, good afternoon, President Cambry and our fellow Rotarians. We thank you for being here today. We have a very wonderful thing that we do in Rotary by inducting new family members into our club. I have the privilege today of presenting Ms. Elva Estrada. Please come forward. She's been being sponsored by our Rotarian Ashley Wilson. And Miss Annette Fox, would you please come forward? Sponsored by Michelle. These ladies have been approved for membership by our club board of directors in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of Tyler. Approval indicates that these two candidates are worthy representatives of their calling and supportive of the ideals of Rotary. They reflect the high ethical standards expected of all Rotarians and understand that service above self is not just a motto, but a goal that all Rotarians strive for. They have agreed to accept the obligations attached to membership in Rotary and understand that they will represent Rotary in both their public, private, and social life. If I could please ask Ashley Wilson to introduce her candidate.
Oh, do I have to say a speech?
Just introduce her, yeah.
Okay.
That would be appropriate.
Okay. Can y'all hear me or do I have to talk into the microphone? Okay. Good afternoon. So me and Elva, we first met at HPAC about 5 years ago. Oh my gosh, time flies. Elva's one of my dear friends. We are also a member of Leadership Tyler Class 35. And she's just an awesome person. She has a heart of gold. She's a woman of God. I'm so excited to induct her today for the Rotary Club of Tyler.
Yes.
Rochelle, if you could please introduce your candidate.
Let me get out my shyness here. Hang on just a second. Wow. I can't even say enough about Annette. It's so wild because she reached out to me all through Facebook. She sent me a message on Messenger and said, I'm really interested in getting involved in the Rotary. And her and I feel very close to her, even though I've only known her for a little while. We've become close friends. And I'm truly honored to have you here today and to be your inductor. Yes, you're the inductee.
Sponsor.
Your sponsor. So we are so blessed to have you here. We really are, Annette.
All right, the moment of truth. Elva and Annette, you've been informed of the requirements of membership in the Tyler Rotary Club. Do you freely accept them, agree to uphold the ideals of Rotary, and be a vital and active part of this club? Please say I do. Okay, all right, this will be a good day. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Rotary Club of Tyler, you are hereby inducted into membership. You are here now. Here are your new member packets now. You could please pass those out to them.
Get your name tag.
And your new member badges. Now, Ashley and Rochelle will pin on our Rotary emblem, which you may wear with pride as you join more than over 1 million Rotarians around the world. As Pamela was stating, we're actually larger than the UN. We speak more languages in Rotary than they have at the United Nations.
There you go.
Candidates, Elva, Annette, is there anything you would like to say to the club as new members? Here's the microphone.
Thank you so much, Greg. Good afternoon. I'm so honored to be here with everybody. I've always heard amazing things of the Rotary Club Tyler. Rotary Club of Tyler. And as Pamela said, that I won't be disappointed, so I'm really looking forward to that. I work for Southside Bank, and I'm in banking, commercial lending, and I've been in banking over 19 years, 17 years with Southside. I tell everybody I know I look like I'm 21. Thank you. And I'm just
You'll love that when you're our age. Yes.
And I went to school here in Tyler, TJC and UT Tyler. I got my bachelor's degree in business there. And I have a 10-year-old daughter. I'm originally from California, but I got here to East Texas as fast as I could. So I'm here now. And my daughter keeps me busy, and her name is Selena, and I'm just so glad to be here with everybody. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm excited about being part of the Tyler Rotary. Get it right in a second. I am from Jacksonville. My husband and I have lived here in Tyler, White House area for the last 25 years. And I'm just excited about what we've got going on. I am a realtor. I work for Sissy. She has just opened up a new agency here in Tyler, and we're excited about seeing the growth on our team. We're part of Still in East Texas, and if you need anything sold, I know there's other realtors in here, but we would be happy to help you, and then we'll work with our lender over here.
My fellow Rotarians, please rise and welcome the newest members of our 120-year club, Evelyn and Annette. Thank you, ladies. Today is a day that we celebrate membership. We welcome new members, but we also like to introduce our current members to the larger family. And so in Rotary, these are called the classification talks. When you join Rotary, you have a classification. It's usually the industry or the vocation that you're in. And we have three individuals who have been voluntold that they will be providing their classification talks today. And I know to lead off this great celebration of introducing people, we have three great candidates, which I did not have the names of, but the Mary Birch is one of them. I knew Mary, and who?
Ashley
Ashley
and Rochelle.
And Rochelle. Okay, they're our sponsors, and Mary. So is in no particular order, but would Rochelle please come forward and offer your classification?
Still shy now. So.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes, girl.
Okay, everyone, whoever doesn't know, my name is Rochelle. I'm originally from Houston. I've been in Tyler now going on, I can't believe it, almost 5 years. I'm the board director, club membership chairperson right now, and getting ready to transition to Greg, who's going to do an amazing job. My current employer, I'm with Hand Up Network, if everyone didn't already know that too. I've been with them a little over a year. We're a large nonprofit here, faith-based, Christian-based nonprofit. My former employer, which got me to Tyler, was Surf Pro. Was with them for almost 4 years. Just got tired of the restoration industry, so I now do this sort of restoration, which I love. Let's see, I'm the director of network development at Hand Up Network. I graduated in 1987 from Nimitz High School. Decided college wasn't the route for me, so went straight into commercial construction industry, which I just absolutely love. I am a Tyler Chamber Contact Club member, which I'm pretty happy. I just got contactor of the club, contactor of the month last month. Whoop, whoop. And I'm a BBB ambassador. So I'm just honored to be amongst all of you all, seriously, even on a nasty day like today. When I come in here, it makes me smile, and I really feel y'all are my extended family. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Michelle.
Is that Irving Nimitz you graduated from?
Chester Nimitz.
I know, Chester is his first name.
The location.
Oh, in Houston, in the Aldine
Okay.
district. Yeah.
All right, we can still be friends.
Okay.
Well,
Behind Guns Point Mall, Greens Point.
Thank you, Rochelle. Clearly, our Rotarians are involved in a lot. I worry about how many things Rochelle is actually involved in. She is involved in our community in ways that, quite honestly, touches, I think, millions of people, quite honestly, not just tens of thousands. We're honored to also present a classification talk today from Miss Ashley Wilson. Ashley, would you please come forward?
Hello again. So my name is Ashley L. Wilson. I'm probably going to go out of order here because I always have my elevator speech ready to go. I am the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for Southside Bank. This is the first role of its kind, and so I am very blessed to have the support of the Board of Directors and Executive Management at Southside Bank. It is truly an amazing organization to work for. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. When I say that, you kind of hear it a little bit. And I have to say, one thing I love about Tyler is that it reminds me of Fort Worth when I was growing up. And so that's why I wanted to stay here, lay down roots, plug in, because I want my son to have the same experience that I had growing up in Fort Worth, Texas. I currently live in Tyler. I just moved into a home that I am renting. I am learning how to mow my lawn, stuff, so it's a new experience. Don't know if I'm gonna stay in a house. I'm probably gonna move back to an apartment because my issues. So we'll see. I used to work for the University of Texas at Tyler, where I oversaw the University Center, the student union, for almost 8 years. I am currently in the doctoral program at the University of Texas at Tyler. I'm a doctoral candidate. I promise you one day I will graduate soon. Within this year, I will graduate. My dissertation topic, I am looking at using digital literacy to reskill Gen Z in the workforce. They are very good with wearables, very good on their phones, but sometimes that does not translate over to, I know I actually had to go in and utilize different software platforms and hardware and be amazing at my job. So that's my dissertation topic. My education, I have a bachelor's from the University of Houston. My first master's is from Northern Illinois University. My second master's is from California State University, Bakersfield. Yes, I did live in California for almost 5 years in Kern County. It was an amazing experience. And as I just said, I'm in the doctoral program at UT Tyler. Areas of interest, I have a almost 7-year-old. You may one day have the pleasure of meeting him. Very high energy. He is awesome. He told me that God chose me to be his mom, and I believe that because he's a lot. He's 7 going on 17 some days. He likes to get behind the wheel of my car and pretend he's driving. So, I don't read for pleasure because I read for research. So one day I'll have an interest in picking up a book again and being back in the nooks and crannies and the corners in Barnes & Noble, which I do love doing that. Into sports, when I get a chance to go back watching sports one day. Other organizations I'm involved in. So as I said, Class 35, Leadership Tyler. I'm also a class rep for Leadership Tyler. I'm a member of HPAT. I think I've trimmed down my other organizations. So,
Explain what HPAT is. Not everybody
HPAT
knows.
is the Hispanic Professional Association of Tyler. I joined probably about 1 or 2 years after it had just began. And so HPAT puts on the East Texas Leadership Summit, which is taking place May 19th. If you're interested, talk to Elva. She has all the details. She's amazing. And so HPAT is really just about preparing leaders for the future. Where professional development meets leadership development. And no, you don't have to be Hispanic or Latino to be a member of HPAT, obviously, because I am. I am not Hispanic. Nor do I speak Spanish. That's the next goal when I graduate, to learn Spanish. Thank you so much.
I think you said it, but it didn't hit my brain right. You're getting your doctorate in?
Organizational development and structural changes.
In structural changes?
Yes, it's in human resource development.
Okay.
And I work in human resources at Southside Bank.
Okay.
So I balance human resources, employee engagement, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Woo!
Wow.
So we have the brilliant, talented people that are in Rotary, and then we have like Bill Kroom and I, and we give our classification talks. Thanks for allowing us in, and we're really excited to be serving and having the opportunity to be on the board and actually help the club. By far, last but not least, I've come to know Mary Birch over the last year that my wife and I have been here in the club as one of the pillars of our club and an incredible asset in terms of professionalism and just a master leader in organization and getting people to do such amazing things. You guys, I came from Rotary in Colorado. Never out of 52 clubs that I had there in Colorado that part of the district staff, did any club take on a project as large as the Tyler Christmas Parade that impacted tens of thousands of families here in the East Texas area, That is one of the things that Mary Birch does, along with her henchman, Holly Lewis, our chief operating officer for the club, and many, many others. Jeff Johnson, our future district governor. They are a leadership team, and Mary is the hub of that. She also is active in the Rotary youth leadership activities that we have, RILA, as you know. And I'm trying to encourage her to get Katie Hall on board with us to do RYE, our Rotary Youth Exchange, and add that as a part of Trudy's years and Colby's years, where we can exchange students from foreign lands and then have our students go to foreign lands for a year of education. It's a part of the Rotary culture that's been around in building goodwill and better friendship and creating peace in the world. Mary came from Dallas. She's been in Tyler for a long time. Without further ado, please welcome our Rotarian, Mary Birch.
Holly didn't tell me I was speaking today.
Yes, I did.
Hopefully so, but anyway, I couldn't make it the last time, so I think I was tending to my ailing twin sister. Many of y'all may not know that I grew up with Billy Hibbs. Do you need this, Dale?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Billy Hibbs and I grew up together. More?
Yeah, then you don't have to tiptoe.
There you go, Shawty.
For many of y'all that do not know, Billy Hibbs and I grew up together and went to Robert E. Lee and First Christian together. You know, I'm from here and then went off to Aggie Land and finished there semester early. My parents were sure proud, and then went to Dallas and lived up there for 30 years. And we chose to move back here to help tend to my ailing parents. And it's been the best decision we ever made. We've been here now 14 years, and I love Rotary. It has been pretty much not my heart. And I want to thank y'all for letting me be a member. And I enjoyed the parade. Would love someone else to cheer sometimes. And Holly could use another person too. I love RILA. I love all the youth. That's really my heart. And I enjoy the Young Citizens Banquet. And my hobbies outside of Rotary, literally, are yoga and power walking with my husband and our puppy. So, and hi, George.
We see Mary quite a bit walking with us.
Yes, and George lives around the corner from us. So, but anyway, thank you all, and help us.
What do you do? Tell them what you do.
What I do for a living.
Uh-huh.
I work for Simmons Commercial Real Estate. I've been fortunate to be there 12 years, and I now work part-time from home. And my infamous line is, when my client needs to be, I can help. So I don't search out any new clients anymore. I'm kind of busy. So thank you all for letting me be a part of your club.
Yes.
Mary, Sandy wants to ask a question.
I sat next to Mary at the table where we registered people for the event last week, and I want to say that was the closest that I have been to you in terms of working with you. I was astounded. She knew people, all the students and their parents, and she put such a personal touch into it. I said to her, how did you know these people? How did you know that young man? And she just kept doing it one right after the other and asking personal questions to them, like, how's it going with you? Is everything? I was so impressed. I thought you really represented all of us in a real high touch way. So I want to say thank you so much for that.
So as we close our membership celebration day, again, thank you to all of our classification speakers. Welcome to our new members. One more round of applause. And I turn it back over to you, Mr. President.
Great job, Greg.
Well, you can see just by what you've seen in the past few minutes, just part of the reason why this is such a spectacular club with such unbelievable membership. And it's truly a privilege to stand up here before you as your president, but also to be a member of this club as well. I am very thankful, and we have a rich and diverse group here. And I know that the future for us is going to be even greater once Trudy Williams takes over. So I'm looking forward to that in a couple of months. We have now the Ace of Diamonds. Remember that 1/2 belongs to the club if the correct ticket is chosen. If you are a guest and you win, you get 1/4 of it. Your Rotary member gets 1/4. And what is the amount for today?
We got $1,229, 33 cards.
That is a useful amount of money. Why don't we have Greg pick out the
You want Greg? Okay.
winning ticket, or Greg or Rochelle? I don't care, either one.
Yes, you pick it.
Or
You
Bill.
pick it. Oh, okay.
Or Bill.
Mr. President.
Make me look like a fool.
All right, the last 3 numbers are 5, 6, 6. Who's got it? All right, John.
All right, fine.
Go get him, John. We're pulling for you.
Oh, man. Better luck next time. Well, in the spirit of Christmas giving, you've got 8 minutes left. I'm going to get back to you so you can get home early or get to work. Let us stand for the 4-way test of the things we think, speak, or do. First.
Is it true?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are adjourned.